Well, good evening, everybody. Thought I would do a prime time 1987 game. Usually I play these at 9 in the morning, but I thought I would do one here in the evening. There are 7 games to play this weekend. There's only 5 days in the week, so other than double headers, this is kind of the only way I can get another one in and keep it all in the same week. So that's what we're going to do. We are at Milwaukee County Stadium for the June 5th game between the New York Yankees and the Milwaukee Brewers. Hello, Dr. D. It's game number 361 on the replay. County Stadium is symmetrical. Singles are 1 to 6, left and right. Home runs 1 to 5, left and right. New York enters the game 33 and 20. They trail the Brewers by 3 games. The Brewers are 34 and 15. Lou Piniella's Yankees against Tom Trebelhorn's Brewers. Pitchers for today's game: 2 left-handers, Tommy John for the Yankees and Juan Nieves for the Milwaukee Brewers. Nieves on the real season was 14 and 8 with a 488 earned run average. Hello, midlife. And as we look at the up to the second stats here and get the game up on the screen for the Yankees and the Brewers, I can get you the replay stats for Juan Nieves. A couple of rostrum notes for the Yankees. They had 2 prominent players go on the injured list yesterday, or actually starting today. Don Mattingly and Ricky Henderson are going to be on the injured list for about 3 weeks each. They come back at the end of June, so they're going to be shorthanded, will the Yankees, for a couple of days. They will acquire Mike Easler from the Phillies in a trade, so they will be bringing him on, but today they're pretty much shorthanded. So we have Dan Pasqua playing first base for the Yankees, and Claudell Washington is playing center field. Despite facing a lefty, they have these 2 lefties in the lineup because they're just shorthanded. There's nothing else to be done about it. Hello, Frank, and hello, Joel. That's just the way the cookie crumbles. When I put these lineups together and saw him, I was like, what happened to Mattingly? And I looked up, and he's on the injury list. Same with Ricky Henderson. So they're going to have to fight through some things here, will the Yankees, as they try to catch up with the Brew Crew. Nieves, again, in the real season, was 14 and 8 with a 4.88 ERA. On the replay, he's 6 and 2 with an ERA of 4.02. So 63 innings pitched, 57 hits, 31 walks, and 52 strikeouts. Nieves has a +1 hold when he factors it with the catcher Schroeder, and Tommy John is a -1 hold when he factors it with the catcher Cerrone. Wild pitch for Nieves is a 4, wild balk is 0. Tommy John wild pitch is a 10 with a balk of 0. So Claudell Washington will lead things off. He's been thrust into the leadoff spot with Ricky Henderson injured. And on the replay, he's done quite well for himself, hitting .358, 2 homers, 15 driven in. He hit .279 real world. And we're underway from Milwaukee. So 1-7, and that's a strikeout. Claudell goes down on strikes to start the ball game. Not a good start for the Yankees. And that'll bring up Willie Randolph. Randolph hitting .271 on the replay, 2 homers, 21 driven in. He hit .305 in the real season. So 1-5 for Randolph. He'll draw the base on balls. So a strikeout and a walk is what Nieves is doing to start the ball game. Randolph has a 3 to get the lead and adds that +1. So with that 19 there, he's going to try for the lead, but he needs a 3, and he doesn't get it, so he will not get the lead. So now, since Mattingly is injured, Gary Ward has stepped into the number 3 hole in the lineup, left fielder. Ward hitting .230 on the replay, 7 homers, 24 driven in. He hit .248 real world. So 410 right-handed. Ground ball third base X, we're looking at Molitor, 4E22 for Mahler. 4 and a 7. Should get to that, you would think. 4 and a 7. He does barely. There's a pound there, but he's not holding anybody on. So it will be a G3. Runner will advance. That's an 11, and he is an E22. E22, there's a 12 there, but no 11. So it will be a ground ball C basically to third base. It's going to be a 5-3 ground out with Randolph taking second base. But now 2 away. And it's a clutch situation for the DH Ron Kittle. He is going to bat cleanup against the lefty Nieves. Kittle on the replay hitting .337 with 8 homers and 23 driven in and just 83 at bats. He hit .277 real world. Havoc roll, nothing happening. Kittle in the clutch will lose a hit on .310 and .27 against the lefty. And that's a 2-9, so he avoids that and gets the ballpark blast. It's only a 1-5, though, and that's a 6. So talk about just getting under it. He will hit a deep fly to the warning track and left. And just there in time is Rob Deere to make the play, and the inning is over. So Kittle just got up under it. Yankees come away empty-handed. We go to the bottom of the first. Yankees nothing. Brewers coming to bat. And veteran left-hander Tommy John on the hill for the Yankees. On the 87 season, he was 13-6 with a 4.03 earned run average. On the replay, he is 3-3 with a 3.30 earned run average. 63 innings pitched, 60 hits, 18 walks, and 19 strikeouts. And Paul Molitor will lead it off for the Brew Crew. Molitor hitting .405 in 121 at bats, 6 homers, 35 driven in. He hit .363 real world. 1-6, and that's a solid double for Paul Molitor. No D20 needed there. That's a solid double for Mr. Molitor. So Molitor doubles. That'll bring up Robin Yount. Yount on the replay hitting .328, 11 homers, 44 driven in. Hit .312 on the replay. On the real world. 2-9, and that's a ground ball shortstop B, so that's going to freeze Molitor right there at second base. And there is 1 away with no runner advancement. That'll bring up the DH, Cecil Cooper. Hello, Dave 09. I'm not sure if it's supposed to be Dav or Dave. I can't really tell. Yeah, late night baseball. Just decided on a whim to do it. Like I said, there are 7 games to be played in this week. There's only 5 days during the week. So, and Saturday I went for the National League game. So the only way to fit these in is either played at night or a doubleheader. Thursday will probably be a doubleheader because it's supposed to be rainy and nasty, and I won't go do any yard work outside. So tomorrow's going to be nice. I'm going to go out and get some yard work done after the morning game. But it's going to be, in the low 50s, so I'll actually be able to get outside without freezing and be able to do something. But Thursday is going to be a washout, supposedly. So good day for a doubleheader, I would think. All right, here's Cecil Cooper. Cooper on the replay hitting .230, 6 homers, 18 driven in. Hit .248 during the season for real, during the actual season. Lefty on lefty. 3-3 is a clutch base hit result, but we're not in the clutch because there's not 2 outs. So it's a ground ball to first. Pascal will take it to the bag himself. Molitor will go to third, but now there are 2 outs. 2 outs, and it's going to be up to Rob Deere, left fielder. Deere hitting .256 on the replay, 6 homers, 31 driven in. In the actual season, he hit .238. It is a clutch situation. So against the lefties, Deere is actually, he's rated neutral. .65, split chance. Only a 1's a base hit. That's a 13. So he lines it to short, and that will end the inning. So Tommy John gets past that leadoff double by Molitor without any damage. We go to the second, no score from County Stadium in Milwaukee. Mr. May, Dave Winfield. Hello, Ernest. Hello, Action. Good to see both of you. Dave Winfield is up. Anybody came in late? Their Yankees have 2 players on the injured list. Ricky Henderson and Don Mattingly are both out until about June 25th or so. So about 3 weeks they're going to be out, both of them, with real-life injuries during the season. So the Yankees are playing a little shorthanded tonight. Here's Winfield hitting .279, 12 homers, 33 driven in. On the replay at .275. That's a 612, and that's a ballpark blast for Winfield, but it's only a 5, and that's a 20. So just a long fly to the left, just like Kittle did. So the last two batters have gone deep, but not quite deep enough. And that'll bring up the third baseman, Mike Pagliarulo. Pagliarulo hitting 263. I'm sorry, 253 on the replay. 15 homers, 34 driven in. He hit 234 during the actual season. 1-8, and that's a strikeout. Second strikeout for Nieves. Pagliarulo a lot of times does not play against lefties, but he's kind of forced to because they're so short-handed. And here's Pasqua playing first base. Very unusual for him to play first base. Unusual for him to play against lefties, but that's what he's doing. Pasqua on the replay hitting 255, 10 homers, 21 driven in. He hit 233 during the actual season. 4-9, and that is a base on balls. So the second walk issued by Nieves to go with his 2 strikeouts. Pasqua will not be held. He's not going to do anything as far as running. Rick Cerrone, the catcher. Cerrone hitting 284 on the replay, 2 homers, 11 driven in. He hit 243 real world. 2-4, and that's going to be a double 1-15. That's only a 2-star double, though, so the runner Pasqua can only get third base. It is second and third only. With those 2 stars, it limits it to 2 bases, even with 2 outs. So Cerrone doubles, puts runners at second and third for the number 9 hitter, Wayne Tollison. It's a clutch at bat for Tollison, and he loses 2 hits right here, 2-9 and 2-10 against the lefties. Tollison on the replay hitting a $199, 2 homers, 15 driven in. He hit 221 real world. See if Tollison can bring these runs across for the Yankees. 3-9, he cannot. He flies to left, and that's going to end the inning. So the double by Cerrone goes for naught. We go to the bottom of the second, still nothing doing for either team. And due up for the Brew Crew will be Greg Brock. It'll be Brock, Braggs, and Schroeder. Brock, first baseman, hitting 335 on the replay. 6 homers, 31 driven in. He hit 299 real world. 1-5, and that's a fly ball to center field, 1 away. And of course, with this being a night game, there was no ceremonial first sip because if I drink coffee now, I'll be up all night. So there's 1 away, and I didn't bring the juice or anything up here either because I don't want to spill anything. All right, here's Glenn Braggs, right fielder, hitting 276. 6 homers, 30 driven in on the replay. He hit 269 real world. 5-10. Fly ball center field X. We're looking at Claudell Washington. 3-E-5 for Claudell. Oh, the 1. Boy, that's terrible. Devil die. Being evil again. The 3 and the 1 is going to be a double. That's an 8. I don't think he's going to make an error on an 8. E5 and an 8. There is no error there, but it's going to be a double for Braggs as Claudell Washington not able to track it down. 1 out double for Braggs, and that'll bring up the catcher, Bill Schroeder. Schroeder hitting 266 on the replay, 2 homers, 11 driven in. He hit 332 real world. 1-8, and that's a strikeout for Tommy John, his first of the game, and it couldn't have come at a better time for him. 2 down. Now it's a clutch at bat for the lefty, Jim Gantner, lefty on lefty. And Gantner in the clutch will lose a hit on 110. And it looks like he's neutral everywhere else. Gantner replay hitting 282. No homers, 11 driven in. He hit 272 real world. Lefty on lefty, John to Gantner. 4-2, and that's a ground ball to first. Pasqua's got it. Flips to Tommy John covering, and that's going to end the inning. So John escapes again without any damage. We go to the third, no score on either side. Back to the top of the order for the Yankees, and it will be Claudell Washington. Struck out his first chance. 5-11, lefty-lefty. Is a fly ball left field X we're looking at here. He's a 3-E-10. Whoa, that white die didn't go through. Let me redo that. 3-E-10. And the double die comes for 1 again. That is the second time in a row that's happened. It's another double. That's a 6, and he is an E. He is an E10. I don't think there's a problem there. No, there's no 6 there, but it will be a double for Claudell Washington. As for the second X chance in a row in the outfield, it came up as a 1. Leadoff double for Claudell. Brings up Willie Randolph. Drew a walk his first time. 5-7, and that's a single to right field. Braggs is a -2 arm. Claudell not being held makes him a 1-16, so they're going to send him. And Randolph, if they choose to throw through, Randolph would take second base. It's a 1-16, so I think the Brewers are going to allow Washington to score and keep that double play in order because the 1-16 odds aren't very good for the defense. It'll be a RBI single for Willie Randolph. 1-0 Yankees. But Randolph stays at first, does not take second on an overthrow. So now here is Randolph trying to get the lead, needs a 3. Does not get it. That'll bring up Gary Ward, left fielder. 4-12, righty, is a fly ball left field X. We're looking at Rob Deere. He is a 3E10. And a 3. Boy, the double die keeps coming up with low numbers. 3 and a 3. That's going to be a double 2 stars. E10 and an 11 for a left fielder. There is no 11, but it is 2-star double. That's going to put runners at second and third with nobody out. 3 D20s in a row, or 3 D20s in a row that came up 1, 1, and 3 are causing these extra base hits. Here's Ron Kittle. Infield for the Brew Crew is in. Trying to choke a runoff. 3-7, and that is a strikeout for Kittle. Boy, a 3-6 would have been a home run, but a 3-7 is a much-needed strikeout for Nieves. 1 away. Infield continues to be in. Hello, Robert. Infield continues to be in for Dave Winfield. Actually, they're going to walk Dave Winfield intentionally. Set up a double play and face left-handers instead of right-handers. So they're going to intentionally walk Winfield, load the bases for Pags. Infield is looking for the double play against Pagliarulo. 5-6, and that's a strikeout. He'll take that too. Nieves with strikeout number 4 for the ball game. Now it's 2 outs and the bases are loaded. Clutch situation for Pasqua. Lefty on lefty, he will lose the hit on the 1-3. That's it. But the infield is back to normal. 1-7 is another strikeout, so the intentional walk to Winfield turned out to be an excellent strategy as he comes back to strike out the 2 lefties. And that's going to end the inning. Yankees get 1, but it could have been a lot worse. Brewers limit the damage to 1 run. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. It's 1-0. Favor of the Pinstripers. Do it for the Brewers is number 9 hitter Dale Swain, shortstop. Swain hitting .326 on the replay, 10 homers, 30 driven in. He hit .262 real world, or .252 real world, I should say. Switch hitter, 5-11 against the righty. Ground ball first base X. We're looking at Pasqua. He's a 4E15, a far cry from Mattingly with a 1. A 20 on the double dive will help him, though, but that could be a high error rating, 14. He is an E15, and that's a 14 at first base. E15, there's a 14 right there, so Pasqua's going to boot it. E3 to start off the bottom of the 3rd. Error on Pasqua. That's one Mattingly would have made easily. There's Paul Mahler. Doubled his first trip. Tommy John looking for that ground ball double play. 4-9. He's not going to get it. That's a single to right field. Swain will hold at second base with the Winfield with that -4 arm. He will deter any thoughts of taking the extra base. First and second, nobody out. And back come the Brew Crew. Hello, Tribe. Good to see you. Robin Yount is up. 6-5, and that is a split chance. That's going to be a liner to set shortstop, so that's one away. One down. Runner still at first and second, and here's Cecil Cooper, grounded to Pasque his first time up. Three 7 lefty is a strikeout. Big strikeout for Tommy John, his second of the game. And now he has a chance to get out of the inning if he can get Rob Deere. Clutch situation for Deere, and he is completely neutral in the clutch against Tommy John. 6-7, that's a ground ball, second base X. Randolph's a 2E17, so a chance to get out of the inning with a favorable D20 roll. 2 and a 2. Boy, I tell you what, the Devil Dies just wants to act up tonight. 2 and a 2 will be a single 1-star to load the bases. Will not score the run unless there's an error, but it will load the bases. Now we'll check for the error. Randolph is an E17. So 6, 15, 3, and 18. That's a 12, so no error there. But it will sneak through for a single to load the bases. And that'll flip it over to Greg Brock with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Clutch situation, obviously, for Brock. He will gain a hit on 3-12. And everywhere else, he is neutral. John has done some magic on the first 2 innings, getting out of damage, but this is the most serious trouble he's been in. 4-4, and it's a catcher X. That's Cerrone, a 3E0. So it's possible. Well, first of all, E0 can't make an error, but a roll make sure there's no, make sure there's not a 5 there for a rare play, which it is not. So he's a 3, and that's a 17. So that probably will not have to worry about anything on a 3 and a 17. That is going to be a G3, so there's no wild pitch or pass ball to worry about. Just a 2-3 ground out, and the Brewers leave them loaded. Houdini job there for Tommy John as he gets out of it. And we go to the top of the 4th. Score still 1-0 Yankees. It'll be Cerrone, Tolleson, and Claudell Washington due up for the Pinstripers here in the top of the 4th. 1-6 for Cerrone. He's going to ground it to Swain at short. 1 away. And here's Wayne Tolleson. 2-9, and that's going to be a base hit for Tolleson. 1 out single for Mr. Tolleson. He is not really a threat to run, so they won't do anything with him. Claudell Washington steps up. He doubled his last time up. 3-5, and he might do it again. 1-3 is a double, 4-20 is a single, and the Devil Dies a 2. So darn if he didn't double again. It's a 2-star double, so it's going to put runners at second and third with 1 out. Second double of the game for Claudell. Here's Willie Randolph. The infield's going to come in again for Randolph. 1 out and runners at second and third. Randolph has walked and singled. 3-3 against the lefty is a ballpark single check. That's a 20. It's going to be a line out to short. I normally would go for this result, but I don't want to mess up anything there, so it's going to be a ground ball and a line out to short. I'll use the generic Strat-O-Matic rule on that as a line out to short. 2 down, and that's going to bring up Gary Ward in the clutch situation. Ward against the lefty gains a hit on 3-4, and that's it. Yep, that's a 1. Nieves has a wild pitch rating of 4. No wild pitch. It is blocked by Schroeder. So Ward will get it back in there and swing it. 5-9, and that is a base on ball. So it's going to load the bases again. That is the 3rd walk issued by Nieves. And now we'll get Ron Kittle with the bases loaded and 2 outs. Clutch situation again. He loses a hit on a 3-10 and a 2-7. He is 0 for 2, a fly to left and a strikeout. 2-7 for Kittle. That's a single, but it's an anti-clutch. So he lost hits on 310 and 2-7, and we just got the 2-7. That's an anti-clutch pop out to short. So I'll circle that one as an anti-clutch. So Kittle in the anti-clutch loses that possible 2-run single, and it turns into a pop out to short to end the inning. And I know some people don't like that clutch rating, but if I'm playing super advanced, I'm going to play clutch. So Nieves works his magic, gets out of it. We go to the bottom of the fourth, and it will be Braggs, Schroeder, and Gantner due up against Tommy John. Still 1-0 Yankees. Hey, Thomas. Yeah, I did a 1982 NBC Game of the Week where I used, I play like one game every Saturday, but I really, at some point, there's a couple seasons I want to do a full replay on. 1982 was one of them. 1967 American League would be another. And there's probably another if I think about it long enough, but those are a couple of the ones. 82, I was a senior in high school when the 82 season finished. I was actually a junior in high school when it finished. No, I'm sorry, I was a senior. I was in the first semester of the fall semester of my senior year, graduated in 83. But in the summer and early fall of 82, I was a senior in high school when the Brewers and the Cardinals played. So I really followed that season quite a bit. So anyway, I saw that Strat-O-Matic had a 60% off sale on the Strat PC game. But I'm not messing with that because the one I've got now is fine, and I don't want to do anything that's going to possibly erase what I've got done already. So I don't really need that for any reason. I mean, there's nothing I need it for. So, I mean, good price. You can get it for $28, I think. But really, I mean, if I didn't have the Strat season, if I didn't have the Strat computer recently, if I hadn't bought it like 3 or 4 years, I might have gotten it. But I don't see any reason to get it. So, all right, here is Glenn Braggs. 1-9, and that's a 1 for a triple, but anything else will be a double. That is a double for Glenn Braggs. He's 2 for 2 with 2 doubles. This one a leadoff double. So the Brewers have had runners in scoring position in every inning and just can't get the run across. Here's Schroeder. 6-2, and that's a ground ball pitcher B, so that's going to freeze Braggs at second base. Tommy John will looking back and throw to first for out number 1. And that'll bring up Jimmy Gantner. 4-7, and that's going to be a ground ball shortstop X. They're not holding Braggs on, so Tollison will keep his 3E22 rating all the way. Oh, the double die is low again with a 5. Boy, I tell you what, the double die just does not want to act right. 3 and a 5 is a G3 pound, but he was not holding the runner, so the G3 is going to be good. That's a 12. And Tollison's an E22. There is no 12 there. So it's a ground ball to short with the runner advancing to third. So Tollison makes the play. Braggs will take third base, but now there are 2 outs. Both pitchers have been escaping trouble left and right quite a bit. Sooner or later, the ruck's going to run out on somebody. And right now, it's Dale Swain at the plate. He reached on a Dan Pasqua error on a ground ball to first back in the 3rd inning in his first at bat. We'll see what he does here in the clutch again against Tommy John. In the clutch, he gains 3 hits. 2-8, 2-11, and 2-12 all turn into hits. Swain. 4-4, switch hitter batting right-handed is a ballpark single check. It's a 1-6. That's a 3. It's a base hit, and we got a tie ball game. So Tommy John could escape no more. His luck ran out on him. A ballpark single by Dale Swain. It's only a 1-star advancement, but that's all you need when the runner's on third. So tie ball game at 1 apiece. And Swain will not be held at first. Here is Molitor. 5-8 is a fly to right. Winfield's got it, and the inning's over. So at the end of 4 complete, we are tied at 1 apiece. 1-1 as we head to the 5th. Both pitchers have 6 for their fatigue, so they're good for a couple more innings at least. We start the top of the 5th. And it will be Mr. May, Dave Winfield, stepping to the plate. For those that came in a little bit later after we started, you'll notice there is no Don Mattingly and there is no Ricky Henderson. They are both on the injured list for about 3 weeks, so the Yankees are going to have to do without them. Those are real-world injuries. They did not participate. They were out for 3 weeks. Both got injured in the same game on the 4th, the previous game, in real world. So I didn't know that until this one, so I played them the whole game last time, not knowing that. But that's why there is a makeshift lineup with Pasqua at first base, even against a lefty. So here's Winfield. 110, and that's a fly ball to left field, 1 away. But Lou Piniella had to deal with it, so now we're dealing with it. Here is Pagliarulo. 3-7 for Pags is a strikeout. And that is strikeout number 6 for Nieves. 2 up, 2 down, and that's going to send us to Dan Pasqua. Pasqua's walked and struck out. 5-8 is another strikeout. Strikeout number 7 for Nieves. Go to the bottom of the 5th, still 1-1. I was kind of expecting more runs in this, but of course there's still about 4 innings to go, so anything can happen. But was expecting some more runs. But the pitchers have been dancing out of trouble left and right. Here's Robin Yount. He's 0 for 2. 3-7. 3-7 is a strikeout. And that is strikeout number 3. Now, if Strat-O-Matic would put their computerized baseball seasons on sale for 60% off or 50% off, I'd jump all over a bunch of them. But I'm not paying $30 for a season. 15 or $20 I'll pay for a season, but I'm not paying $30 for a season. If it was $20 or less, I'd do it, but not $30. Just the principle of the thing. Here's Cooper, 5-6, and that's a pop out to first. But I'm telling you, if they wanted to sell some more and make some more money, put them on sale. I mean, they're already created, so there's no cost to them, no printing cost, no anything. It's just an email. So they can make all kinds of money on that. Here's Deere, 1-7, and that's another strikeout to end the inning. And that's going to do it. We go to the 6th. It's 1-1. 1-1. Thomas, I was on that website earlier, and only the computer game was 60% off. And I tried to order a season, it still charged me $30. So unless there's a code or something that needs to go in there, I didn't have that. So, but if they ever come out 60% off, I'm all over it. Here's Rick Cerrone, 1-6 against the lefty, grounds it to short. 1 away. 1 down. Here's Wayne Tollison. 4-11. Ground ball first base sees, so Brock gets it, flips to Nieves covering. 2 away very quickly. Of course, I did order the Action PC game that's going to come out, and that has manual entry, so I'm definitely looking forward to maybe using that for some of these Strat plays. Here's Claudell Washington. The only good thing about the Strat computers, you get the missing players, you get the imaging, and you can use all the players that way. 1-4 is a fly to center, and that's going to do it. 1-2-3 inning for Nieves. So he keeps full endurance into the 7th. We go to the bottom of the 6th. Still 1-1 here at County Stadium. Greg Brock will lead it off. He's 0 for 2. 6-5, make it 0 for 3 as he flies to Claudel Washington center, 1 away. And now here's Glenn Braggs. He's 2 for 2 with 2 doubles and a run scored. 3-8, and that's a base on balls. So Tommy John didn't want to deal with him this time around. He walks him. Let's see, for Tommy John, that is his first walk of the game. Braggs, even though the -1 is there, he's still going to try to get the lead. It would be a 1-13 if he got the lead. So a 5 or a 6 gets him the lead. Does not get it, so he will hold. And here's Bill Schroeder, the catcher. 3-4, and that's a strikeout for Tommy John. Strikeout number 5. And that'll send up Jimmy Gantner, 0 for 2. 4-2, lefty is a ground ball to first base C once again. There's a dot there, but he's not tired yet. So Pascal will field it and flip to John covering, and the inning's over. So both pitchers carry some endurance into the 7th. We go to the top of the 7th, still a 1-1 ball game. Very unusual to be this low scoring in an American League East game. Traditionally known for scoring lots of runs. So here is Willie Randolph. And I want to check something real quick before I start the top of the 7th. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything on the computer. Make sure we're all copacetic. What is it doing to me here? Something here. There we go. Let's see. Just to make sure I didn't look at something or look at something wrong. I am on the Strat website now. I'm going to try to order a computer season and see if it gives me any kind of discount at checkout. Because if I can get a discount, I'll buy it. But if I can't get a discount, I'm not messing with it. $30 is way too much for that. All right, let's add this to the cart and see what the cart comes up with. If I go to checkout, whoops. Nope, it's charging me $31.59. They're even charging tax. Maybe that's a state tax. I don't know for my state. But I'm not paying $31.59 for a computer season. Sorry, Strat, not doing it. No way, no how. All right, they do that, Thomas, to get you on their website, hoping you'll buy something. I think it's a bait and switch, if you want my personal opinion, which is a crappy thing for them to do. But Strat-O-Matic overall as a company the product is great, but as a company, I think they have something to be desired with as far as a company. Great game, great cards, but as a business company, they've been found wanting. All right, here's Willie Randolph. 4-8, and that's a strikeout. So Nieves gets strikeout number 8. Hello, World's Worst. Good to see you. So let's put in the strikeout of Randolph, and that'll bring up Gary Ward. Ward is 1 for 2 with a double and a walk. 5-8. That's another strikeout for Nieves, number 9. And that brings up Kittle. He's 0 for 3. 3-11. That's a ballpark single check. That's an 18. That's a 6. So he's going to line it to short. And that will end the inning. And Nieves continues to have full endurance into the 8th inning. So we're at the 7th inning stretch, but there's no coffee for me to warm up or anything. So we're just going to keep rolling, especially the way this game has gone as speedily as it has gone. And Dale, we need ID Gesture to do a rant on their bait and switch sale. That's what we need to do. Somebody needs to tell ID Gesture about that so he can do another rant. All right, here's Swain. 3-9, and that's going to be trouble. 1-5 is a double. That's a 20, so it'll just be a leadoff single for Swain. He's 2 for 3. He is the go-ahead run now. Doesn't have a whole lot of speed. Malter is an A bunter, but I mean, he's too good of a hitter to bunt, so you're not going to bunt a guy that's hitting over 400. We're not doing that. So they will have him swing away, obviously. 2-7, and that is a fly to left. One away. Hauled in by Gary Ward. Brings up Robin Yount. He's 0 for 3. 2-7, and he's going to draw a base on balls. And now the Yankee bullpen starting to stir as Tommy John might be running out of gas. Right-hander Tim Stoddard has begun soft tossing in the Yankee bullpen. So Tim Stoddard is getting ready to come in, possibly to face Rob Deere. Right now they'll let John face Cooper, lefty-lefty. First and second, one out. Cooper is 0 for 3. 4-10. Ground ball third base X. That's Pagliarulo, 2E20. If the D20 would cooperate, they might be able to turn a double play. Oh, we got a hop and dice, so we're going to re-roll that. Good thing, because that was a 4 on the D20. That's an 11. That might actually help him. 2 and an 11 is a G1, so it is a possible double play. He is an E20, and that is a 12. E20, there's an 11 and a 14, but no 12, so that is an around the horn 5-4-3 double play to end the inning. And we go to the 8th. That's going to do it for Tommy John, though. They're going to cap John at 7 innings. He's going to go 7 innings, give up the 1 run. But he was on the verge of fatigue, so with the righty Deere coming up and Braggs, who's gotten to him 3 times, they're going to go ahead and pull him at this point. And we'll get the numbers on John from the computer and see how he did on this ball game. With 7 innings, did Tommy John. And he gave up 7 hits and a run, which was earned. Walked 2, struck out 5. Nieves has still got endurance. He's going to stay here for the 8th. He is retired. Nieves has retired, it looks like, a total of 13 in a row. Oh, I'm sorry, 10 in a row. He's retired 10 in a row. So he'll be starting off facing Winfield. Now, the Brewer bullpen is loose. I mean, they do have a pitcher loosening. They do have Mark Clear loosening in their bullpen. So Mark Clear is there loosening and possibly a chance to come in if Nieves fatigues or gets into trouble, one or the other. See how he does. Winfield to lead it off here in the top of the 8th. 5-11. That's a ground ball pitcher X. Nieves is an E38. And the computer will give me his range because the cards don't have it. So the computer says he is a 3E38. 3E38 for Nieves. 3 and 18 is going to be okay for that, but the E38 might be a problem. 3 and 18 is a G1. That's a 10. And he's an E38, and a 10 is right there. Usually don't have him a lot of errors in 10s, but when you get this high of an error rating, 10s are going to show up. And there you go. 38 and a 10 is a one-base error on Nieves. So now each team has committed an error. Winfield is on for Mike Pagliarulo. Hello, Justin. Why did I pick 87? It's one of my favorite seasons. I followed it very closely. It was one of the first seasons I followed when I was in the military until 86. Got out in late 86 after the, right when the World Series was going on. So the 86 World Series got me back into baseball. And so when 87 came around, I was all in. And I really followed the 87, particularly the Atlanta Braves because they were on, and the Chicago Cubs, but the Atlanta Braves because they were on Superstation. But I did an Atlanta Braves replay already in History Maker, so I didn't want to do the National League. So that's why I chose the American League, even though it's got the DH. All right, here's Pagliarulo. 0 for 3. He's got the hat trick, 3 strikeouts. 5-6, make it 4. He's got the golden sombrero. But I guess if you want to say in fairness to Pagliarulo, he's not used to facing lefties, but because of the injuries, he's got to face them. Although they could have had Sakata pinch hit, or play third to begin with, but they didn't do it. That's a 10th strikeout for Nieves, by the way. And now here's Pasqua. Also in there because of the injuries to Mattingly and Henderson. 2-10, and that's going to be a ground ball pitcher A. That'll be a 1-6-3 double play, and that will end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 8th. I think that might be all for Nieves. The 8 innings is probably going to be all for him. So we'll cap him at 8 innings. And let's see, he's given up 6 hits and a run, which was earned. And I've got him for 10 strikeouts. And let's see how many walks. He had an intentional walk here and a walk here. So he walked 4, it looks like. My math is correct. I will check the computer just to make sure I'm not off by something. I think it was 4 and 10 with the walks and the strikeouts. Yep, that's what the computer has, so we're good to go. All right, for the Yankees, it'll be Tim Stoddard coming on to pitch here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Tim Stoddard, the right-hander. He was 4 and 3 with a 350 earned run average in the real season. Let's see what he's done on the replay. Mr. Stoddard, where are you? There you are. So on the replay, Tim Stoddard, well, check it again. 4 and 3 with a 3.50 ERA and 8 saves on the. That's on the real season. On the replays, 4 and 3 with a 4.12 and 1 save. So he's got the same win-loss record, 4 and 3. But his ERA is a little bit high, and he only has 1 save compared to the 8 saves that he had in real world. And so he's going to be facing Deer, Brock, and Braggs. Deer, Brock, and Braggs. 3-9 for Deer, and that is a strikeout for Rob Deer. Deer on the strikeout brings up Greg Brock. 3-6. 3-6 for Brock is a 1-2 single. That's a 12. So he will line it to second base for Randolph. 2 down. And here's Braggs. He's doubled twice. Also walked. 6-4. That's a catcher X. So we're going to Cerrone. He's a 3-E-0. And again, with the E0, he can't make the error, but we will check it and make sure there's no 5 for a rare play. And there isn't. So we're looking at the 3 and a 10, but nobody's on base, so there's no chance of a pass ball or wild pitch or anything. So a 3-10 is just going to be a foul out. So Bragg will foul out to Cerrone, and Stoddard pitches a 1-2-3 8th inning. So we go to the 9th. Still tied at 1 apiece. And for the Brew Crew, it'll be Mark Crystal Clear coming on to pitch. And he'll be facing the scheduled hitters anyway of Cerrone, Tolleson, and Washington. Might get a pinch hitter for Tolleson. We'll have to wait and see on that. Let's see. Right now, though, we have to go to the computer and bring in Mr. Clear so we can see what he did. What he's done on the replay and get him going for this game. Clear. There he goes. Clear was 8-5 with a 4.48 ERA and 6 saves in real season. But he's been tearing up on the replays, 2-1 with a 1.01 earned run average and 2 saves. 27 innings pitched, 16 hits, 12 walks, and 30 strikeouts. He has been dominant in this replay. So Clear will be facing Cerrone, Tolleson, and Washington, the scheduled hitters, but the Yankees, again, shorthanded on the bench as they're down 2 players. So they have 4 bench guys. And they're all right-handed hitters. Henry Cotto, Joel Skinner, Len Sakata, and Bobby Meacham. That's all they have. Meacham might pinch hit for Tolleson, but I tell you what, if you take Tolleson out, Meacham becomes a 4 defender, and you could ruin your defense that way. So they'll probably stick with Tolleson and just see what happens. Cerrone will lead it off. 1-7, and he will strike out. So Rick Cerrone on the strikeout. 1 down. Here's Tolleson. He is 1 for 3 on the day. Six, 7, and that's a ground ball. Second base X. We're looking at Gantner, 2E14 for Mr. Gantner. 2 and a 14 is good. E14, and that is a 14 at second base. 14 and a 14, but there's a 15 and a 16, but no 14. So Gantner will make the play on the tough hop. Throw out Tolleson, 2 up, 2 down, and that'll bring up Claudell Washington. 3-7 for Claudell is a strikeout, and that's going to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 9th, chance for the Brewers to walk it off against Tim Stoddard. It'll be Schroeder, Gantner, and Swain, unless the Brewers want to make a move to the bench. Look at the bench players the Brewers have available. They have a couple of They have 2 lefties. They have Rick Manning and the backup catcher Surhoff. A couple of switch hitters, Castillo and Felder, and then a righty, Jim Paciorek. So they could pinch hit for Schroeder with Surhoff. But Schroeder's a darn good hitter, 332. I'm not going to pinch hit for him. So I think we're going to stick with what we got. Gantner's a decent hitter and Swain's a good hitter. So it looks like they're going to stick with their original lineup and not do any pinch hitting. So it'll be Bill Schroeder. He can end the game with 1 swing of the bat. 5-6, but he's going to strike out here. And that's 1 away. Stoddard with the K. And that'll bring up Jimmy Gantner. That is a 6-7. Where do we go? Lefty hitter, 6-7 is a ground ball shortstop X. We're looking at Tolleson, 3E22. 3 and a 13 is good. 3 and a 13 is a G2. That is a 13, and he is an E22. E22 and a 13. There is a 6, 15, 17, and 18, but no 13. So Tolleson makes the play, and we're 1 out away from extra innings. And it's going to be Dale Swain, but he certainly has the power. He hit 25 home runs in the 87 season, and he's also 2 for 3 in this game. 3-7, but he's going to strike out here against Stoddard, and we're going to extra innings. Extra innings here at County Stadium. Mark Clear will come out for his second inning. He went 1, 2, 3 in the 10th. I'm going to go ahead and move these cards over here so we can see him better. We're running out of room here on the side with this extra inning stuff. So Top of the 10th we go. It's going to be Randolph, Ward, and Kittle, the scheduled hitters. Good chance they might pinch hit for Kittle, but they don't really have any lefties on the bench. That's the problem. You got no lefties, so might as well stick with Kittle. All right, here's Willie Randolph. So Lou Piniella's hands are kind of tied. It doesn't have a whole lot of options here. 410 is a strikeout for Mark Clear. That brings up Gary Ward. Gary Psycho Ward. 3-7, and he's going to strike out. So, boy, Mark Clear just tearing it up. He's struck out 4 of the 5 he has faced. His ERA on the replay now is 0.95. And they had a 4.48 real world. He's just doing unspeakable things in this replay where he's just getting every roll possible. Here's Kittle, 2-6. 1 to 13's 1 to 12's a home run. That's a 12 right there, though. Look at that. His luck just ran out. Ron Kittle, home run 1 to 12, and the double die is a 12. That ball is gone. If I was playing robbing home runs, we could rob the home run or at least have a chance at it. But that's the one rule I'm not playing with is robbing home runs or blocking the plate. So that's going to be gone. Ron Kittle comes through. 1 to 12 is a home run, and that's a 12 on a 2-6 against the righty. Home run, Ron Kittle. And now that has gotten Dave Righetti up in the Yankee bullpen to come in. Kittle with home run number 9 on the replay. He had 12 real world. Home run 9, RBI 24. Here's Winfield. 3-6. That's a ground ball to short to end the inning. So the ERA, that home run just jumped Clear's ERA to 1.27 now. He didn't stay under the 1 number for very long. So we go to the bottom of the 10th, and coming into the game, that's going to be all for Clear. Clear is going to go 2 innings. Going to give up the hit and the run, strike out 4, not walk anybody. And now Stoddard went 2 innings. He struck out 3, didn't give up anything, retired all 6 batters he faced. And now Rags, Dave Righetti, will be coming on for the Yankees to try to close the deal. Dave Righetti. So we'll get the numbers on Righetti on the replay so we can match it up with what he did real world. We're going to bring Righetti into the ball game. So Righetti on the real season, 8-6, 3.51 ERA and 31 saves. On the replay, 2-1, 3.82 ERA and 12 saves. So Righetti going for lucky number 13 if he can get it. And he'll be facing Molitor, Yount, and Cooper unless they pinch it for Cooper. Probably would pinch it for Cooper, I would think, with a righty, most likely. But Righetti going to come on, see what he can do. He's a -5 hold. So that's going to put the kibosh probably on any stolen base attempts that might be in the thoughts of the Brew Crew. No, we're not enjoying a cup of coffee at 10:27 Eastern. You got that right. There was no ceremonial first sip in this game. All right, so Molitor is going to lead off. He's 2 for 4. That's a 4-6 against Righetti, and he struck him out. So Righetti puts down Molitor on strikes. 1 away for Robin Yount. He is 0 for 3 with a walk. .37 against the lefty Righetti is another strikeout. Yankees in a must-win situation because they're already 3 games back of the Brewers. They don't want to go 4 games back, but to get the win here, they're only 2 games back. And now the Brewers will go to the bench for Cecil Cooper. They will bring in a pinch hitter for Cooper. Let's see who they're going to turn to here. Probably switch hitter. They're going to go to a switch hitter, and it's going to be Mike Felder, the switch hitter. So Felder will pinch hit here in the bottom of the ninth for Cooper. He is a switch hitter, and he is a 266 hitter real world. So let's bring in Felder on the computer. He's not really a home run threat, but he can get on base and steal. That's something he could possibly do. Or at least just get on base so Rob Deere could do something with him. Felder on the replay is hitting 269 in 26 at-bats. See at 266 real world, so he's pretty much right on his average. He is a righty, batting against Rigetti, the lefty. Rigetti, 6'6", against the right-hander, is a base hit. So base hit for Felder. The game will continue. Now, do you dare try for the lead? Because that -5 is going to make that a -7. Be a 1-12. I don't know if you want to take that chance and get thrown out to end the game. So Felder will be held, but he won't go anywhere. And they're going to bring in Rob Deere, or let Rob Deere hit. He is 1 for 4, but he could end it with one swing of the bat as well. You've always had that thought. Got some ballpark blast on his card. It's a 2-7, and he's going to fly to center, and there's your ball game. Rigetti nails it down for his 13th save, and the Yankees escape with a 2-1 victory, nail-biter, over the Milwaukee Brewers. Rigetti did give up that hit, but he got 2 strikeouts in there. So the losing pitcher is Mark Clear, and the winning pitcher is Tim Stoddard. So we'll go to the Strat computer and get the totals and wrap this game up and see where that puts the Yankees in the standings. So as we look at the computer, Stoddard wins. He improves to 5-3 on the season. The loss to Clear, he drops to 2-2. And Rigetti with his 13th save. Let's see here. The Brewers are now 34-16. Yankees are 34-20. So they're 2 games back, 4 in the loss column, but they're even in the win column. So it's a net 2 games back in the standings. And they also creep a little closer to Toronto and kept pace with Toronto because Toronto beat Baltimore this morning. So both Toronto and the Yankees pick up a game on the Brewers and tighten that division. The Yankees trail the Brewers by 2. Toronto trails them by 1.5 games. And 4.5 back is Detroit. So they're creeping up there as well. The game tomorrow morning, we're going to be in the Metrodome in Minnesota. It'll be the Texas Rangers and the Minnesota Twins. That will be the game tomorrow morning. And I thought I had the score sheet with me, but maybe I didn't. Thought I had it with me, but no, this is the score sheet for that. Oh, I got it down here. Never mind. Got it right here. This is the game for tomorrow morning. Texas and Minnesota from the Metrodome. It'll be Bert Blyleven, 5-4, against Greg Harris, 0-2. A game that Texas won in real world, 15-7. Minnesota's 25-27, and they are 4.5 games behind first place Oakland. Texas at 22-27, and they are 6 games back of first place Oakland. So, a little bit unusual for me to play this late at night, but I thought that was something different to do and give people a chance maybe that don't get to see this live in the mornings, give them a chance to watch it live in the evenings. So I hope you enjoyed that presentation of Strat-O-Matic Super Advanced, as the Yankees, despite being shorthanded, beat the Brewers by the final score of 2-1. 2 runs, 7 hits, and 1 error for the Yankees. 1 run, 8 hits, and an error for the Brew Crew. So game 361 is in the books, and we move on to tomorrow morning at 9 a.m., and it will be game 362 from the Metrodome. So again, thanks to all of you who spent part of your Tuesday night with me and kept me company for this additional game in the American League replay. Tomorrow, like I said, will be this game. Tomorrow night will most likely be game 2 of the Ticonderoga Stooges in the History Maker fictional set that I just started. The replay just started for that. So that's what's on the agenda. And on Thursday, it's supposed to rain here on Thursday. So Thursday looks like a good day to do a West Coast doubleheader, because the last 3 games are all on the West Coast. So we'll pick 2 games from the West Coast and play it as a doubleheader. So thank you again for keeping me company and making these games more interesting. It's always more interesting when there's people watching and people talking about it and asking questions and so forth. But again, too bad Strat doesn't sell their PC seasons at $15 or $20. I'd buy a couple at $20. I would buy a couple. I think anything over 20 is too much, because it doesn't cost them anything. It literally costs them nothing. They've already created it. It's passive income for them. They don't have to print anything. They don't have to mail anything. They don't do anything but send you an email with a file attached. So why they feel the need to charge $30 to me is ridiculous. But that's just me. That I could go on a tangent for there. We really need we really need ID at this point. But oh well, not going to belabor that. But anyway, want to end on a positive note. So I'll just say thank you all for spending the time watching me, and hope you all have a great evening, rest of the evening, whatever you got planned, and whatever you got planned for the rest of the week. I know Christmas is coming up, so hopefully Santa will be good to everybody this year, and maybe there'll be a new game under your tree or something like that. So until next time, enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however choose to play it, and I will see you until tomorrow at 9 a.m. for Texas and Minnesota. I will see you all down the road.